everybody, it's Bubz. Welcome back to my channel. Today, for the very first video of 2019, we are going to be reviewing and also doing a demo of the Dyson Airwrap. But just a little backstory. I've always been a huge fan of Dyson. I've just always thought they make really cool, innovative products that work well. I'm especially a huge fan of their V-Series vacuum. I just find it really funny that all of their products just seem to look alike. Even the hairdryer is inspired by the fan. Anyways, going back to Airwrap, I've had this since Christmas Day, and it was a Christmas present from my husband. Thank you, hun. Really? Yes, this is lovely. Which is a really nice gift because I've been intrigued by this, but I was too frugal to buy it. Airwrap is definitely what you would call a luxury product. It's definitely on the pricey side. But nonetheless, I have been testing this baby out. First time around, I wasn't so sure about it, and then second time around, I thought, this isn't so bad. Third time around, I thought, I'm really getting the hang out of this. Fourth time, I really liked it, and it was just upwards from then on. If you want to go straight to the demo, I'm going to leave the time there for you guys to hop off to. But for now, I'm going to share my initial thoughts. So I got the complete version, and it comes with a gorgeous leather box. For the 30ml and the 40ml, it comes with two barrels because each one goes a certain direction. So as you can see, the arrow here is going this way, whereas the arrow here is going the other direction. So I do use this one the most along with the air dryer head, which is handy because for such a big price tag, you'd like to know that this also does other things. So this has actually become our family hair dryer, and it's great because, you know, for most hair dryers, it kind of goes like this, like a little hammer. Sometimes it can be very tiring. So because it's just one pole, it just means distributing the weight is much easier. There are also two brush attachments, and at the beginning I was wondering like, what's the difference? But after using it, it is better for styling really straight hair. So you want more of a sleek, smooth look. Whereas for this one, you can create more of a body. And then here is the hot Airbrush Styler, and I admit this is the one I actually use the least often. I think most people are going to be most interested in the Calendar head because I guess it is the most innovative part, because all the others you can pretty much replicate in other products. So initial thoughts when I first saw this, even without the attachments, it's definitely bigger than I thought. If you just want to achieve curls, then it's way cheaper to just buy a curling iron. So this is definitely more closer to an air styler slash hair dryer. I feel like with curling iron, you just get a more controlled curl, whereas with this one, you get more of a salon blowout sort of curl bounce, which is something that I have to say I prefer more. Just in my personal experience, I feel like curls are quite dated at the moment. So I think in terms of size and weight, it's okay. It's not too bad if you see it as sense of this is going to be a hair dryer and also your hair styler in one. So as you can see right now, my hair is damp. It is supposed to work best of damp hair, although when I say damp, there is also a sweet spot to it. If your hair is overly damp, then the ends are going to be too heavy and it's not going to wrap well around the barrel. It does require a little bit of practice. I would say around the third time is when I properly perfected it. Right now I have the 40mm barrel on, and the best way to see which way the barrel goes is to hold it and look in the mirror, and you can see the arrow points inwards, which means it's going to curl inwards. So one of the things about Airwrap is you have to use this with a mirror. I know it sounds silly, like obviously, but you know, if you think about it with straighteners and curling iron, you can sort of get away with using this without a mirror. But right here, you see this is where you lock and unlock your barrels. There are three buttons here, and if I press this lower button, this is a power button. So I'm just gonna let you guys hear the sound. I would say the noise is just your typical hair dryer sound. It's not quiet for sure, but I wouldn't say it's overly loud. On the left side, this is a heat setting where it's the strongest heat, and then medium heat, and then the cool setting. They're very sneaky and clever on marketing that it curls your hair with our extreme heat, because it left me thinking that this is going to curl my hair with zero heat. There is definitely heat, and it can actually get pretty hot. I do believe you can burn your scalp if you hold it too close, but obviously this type of heat is going to be way less than your hair using a curling iron, where it's literally touching the scorching iron. And then on the other side is the power setting, where you can adjust how strong you want it to be. For example, if I turn it on, and then if I want to turn it higher, and then stronger. When I'm doing my hair, I like to separate my hair in half, and even still, I like to separate the top and lower layers. Obviously, I'm going to start with the lower layer, so for now, I'm just going to clip this section out of the way. Actually, if I don't want my hair to dry up too fast, then I'm going to bunch up my other side as well. So the gist of this is to curl with the warmer setting and then change it to the cool setting so it sets a curl, and then turn off and release. At the beginning, I thought this is really confusing. That's a lot of steps for the amount of money that's paid with this, but after a while, it's kind of like riding a bike and it becomes second nature. So let's go. So holding a section of hair, I like to start not in the middle, but near the ends, probably about 2/3. Let the hair wrap around the barrel, and then just let it roll upwards. It can get pretty hot, so I like to hold for about 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then move it to cool setting. Turn off, hold for a little bit, and then release. And if I touch this, my curl will be completely dry. This is definitely not the curl that I would like, but after some time, it will drop and become more of a blowout curl, which you guys will see. So moving on to the next section. Whatever hair that's not in use, I throw it behind. So another thing I forgot to mention is before you use the Airwrap, remember to use a comb so there are no knots. So again, starting about 2/3 way down, back on the hot setting, on. Let it wrap around the barrel. Sometimes if it's too wet, it's too heavy, it doesn't wrap. So you just need to do this a few times to dry it a little bit. So once it's wrapping better, again, let it roll up. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool setting. Release, hold for a little bit, gently remove the curl, completely dry. Some people when using this, they like to hold longer. It really depends how much hair you're using. Sometimes I find that no matter what I do, a small piece will not wrap, so just go ahead and use your fingers to assist it around the barrel. I would not recommend this if your hair is really long, because obviously the longer your hair, the more it needs to wrap around, which means it won't be as effective. My complaint on the design would be I wish the power setting is somewhere else, because sometimes when I'm trying to go from the heat setting to the cool setting, I get mixed up and end up pressing the other side. So if it wasn't around here and somewhere else, that would be so much easier. The reason you use a cool setting afterwards is because it sets it by sealing the curl, if that makes sense. Even if you were just using a hair dry setting, if you blasted the hair with cool air, it makes the hair look so much smoother as well. So now I'm just going to move on to the top section. By the way, if you are someone that likes to use hairstyling products or protectant, you can. Personally, I don't like to use too many products in my hair. When you get the hang out of it, it's actually pretty fast. I would say it would probably take me about 25 minutes to do an entire head at the most. As always, when I'm curling my hair, while it's curling, I like to save time by searching for the next section of hair. If you want to, after you finish your curl, you can immediately set it with some hairspray. I just like to just leave it, but it will definitely make it last much longer. So another area I feel like it could improve is I feel like the barrel could definitely be longer, because I know that this can withstand holding more hair, slightly more than 1 inch, but it just means the barrel is too short. So if it were longer, it would completely solve the issue. So now moving on to styling the fringe. Okay, I know right now it looks crazy, but it will drop eventually. Okay, so one side of my hair is pretty much done, and I'm just gonna move on to the other side. I know right now this looks crazy, but trust me, when it drops, it looks really good. Now I'm moving on to the other side of my hair. This would be the time where I would switch barrels, although technically you don't need to. Let's try keeping it this way, but if I were to hold it this way, maybe it would work. Should we try? Okay, so you can keep the barrel if you just hold it the other way around. But let's just change the barrel anyway. Okay, so 2 more sections at the back. Pretty fast. It's only been 15 minutes so far, guys. I'm almost done. So I have just curled both sides of my hair, and you can see how much body I have. I wait for it to drop, and when it drops, it just looks so beautiful. It looks like a blowout sort of curl. So if you're looking for a curl, like I said, definitely just get a curling iron. It's cheaper and you get a more controlled curl. I have just been using the 40mm. I haven't really been using the 30mm, so I'm quite intrigued to see how the curls will look once they drop. I just find that when it drops, it creates more of a younger, youthful look. It has been 4 hours since I did my hair, and you can see it still looks really bouncy. The curls have definitely loosened up, but in a good way. Even though my hair has definitely loosened out, it feels bigger because the curls became less defined. So instead, what I am left with is more of a salon blowout curl, which I think looks so much better. The reason I like to curl inwards is because, like I say, as the days go by, next day it's gonna drop even more, and when it drops, it looks so much better curled like this versus curled like that. Since it gives me such a nice base hairstyle already, I mean, it looks nice when my hair is down, but it also means that even if I put my hair into just like a top ponytail, or if I were to just put my hair in a normal ponytail, it looks so much better. It really reminds me of Korean curls, where it's just more of your hair looking volumized, really bouncy. I find that my hair stays fresh for way longer. A lot of times on the 3rd day, this is when my hair starts to look, this is when my hair looks really, really limp. But on the 3rd day, my hair still looks bouncy. Obviously, the curl isn't as tight. Another thing is, even though they do recommend to use this on damp hair, you can use this to recurl your hair. So say next day you wake up and your curls have dropped and you want them to look a bit more bouncy. Because your hair already has a natural tussle to it, it will wrap around the barrel pretty easy. My hair is generally really thick, but it still works well with the Dyson Airwrap because my hair is fine. If your hair is more on a coarse side, you will probably have more difficulty at wrapping around the barrel, but it just means that you gotta work with smaller strands of hair versus bigger sections. Luckily for me, because my hair is pretty fine, I can use bigger sections even though my hair is thick, if that makes sense. It's great in the sense that this is going to dry your hair, it can curl it, it can give it bounce, it can make it look sleek, it makes hair look shiny, it keeps my hair fresher for longer. It's kind of cool to know that if I were traveling, if I want to, I can just bring this. Time-wise, it really doesn't take that long. The first time using it took me a bit longer, but as I got the hang of it, even with my really thick hair, it didn't take me that long. 30 minutes would be the max it would take for me to do my hair. I love the look that it gives me. It's perfect. I feel like I'm walking out of a salon each time I leave my bedroom. Like I said, where it could be improved, the barrel could be longer. This button here where you can alter the power could be somewhere else. And thirdly, the biggest con, as you can guess, is the price. As much as I love the product, it shouldn't be this expensive. Despite the price, I do use almost every attachment. It just means I'm gonna use the heck out of it to make sure that I make the most out of every single penny. So I think I've covered everything, but I don't know. But if I didn't, feel free to leave a comment down below and I will try my best to get back. And also, if any of you guys have used the Dyson Airwrap and have any tips and tricks, please share them below, help each other out. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching and I shall talk to you soon.
My life may not be perfect, but at least my hair can be.